I arrived at the plane in Fort Lauderdale. It was late at night, and I've been up for many hours, but I wasn't tired. I still wanted to go out and get a beer and have conversation with the people I've known for so long in the spaces of X. And that led me to the path of a tiki bar. I knew there was 3 or at least 2 from the community there. So I went into the bar. I saw a small table with 3 guys at, and I knew that these guys were the ones that I wanted to talk with. I was greeted, and we got beers, and we conversed, and we had awesome conversation. It was magical. I felt so alive, and I felt it so beautiful sitting at this bar and talking with people where I could really express these thoughts I've had for so long about our markets, about everything that is wrong with the world. So the move was magical. We got some beers, and I got some weed as well. I'm not very accustomed to weed and then conversing, so sometimes it can be hard for me to collect my thoughts and put my thoughts into words when I'm high. So after the weed, I sat back a bit and I had to collect myself. So I thought, hey, I have to pee anyway. So I went to the bathroom. In the bathroom, I just, took a piss, looked in the mirror, said, tried to, go back at it. And I was coming to the conclusion, hey, maybe I'll just hang back a bit and just, just be a fly on the wall. That was like how I saw how I could be part of the conversation when I returned. So then when I came back, I took a seat, tried to hang back. And then Alex, he, instead of being over with Hulk, he scooted over to me. He put his arm around me and he told me some great words of encouragement. He told me that I should have a speech ready if I ever encountered Ryan Cohen. So I could tell him, hey, what are the problems I see here in Denmark and how can he help me combat it? He might donate me 100 million, something like that, to that extent. And he just kept pushing on with these words of encouragement. And suddenly I kind of broke down. I was overwhelmed with emotion. It was a beautiful emotion. And I felt very, very fond of Alex that would put these words of encouragement in my ears. But I was weeping, I was weeping, and the waitress came over and asked, hey, is he okay? Because I went like that for like 15 minutes. And now afterwards, I felt very fond of Alex because he put these words in my ears. And then he also told me some tragic stories, something about his childhood that was very tragic, something you might not want to say to someone on the first beer. He took me outside to the beach where he told me that he hoped that I would be an ally, and if I ever fuck him up, he would kill me. He said, then I was like, hey, no problem, man. I'm on the side, I am with the flag, I see where this is going. I'm all for it. Because I thought he was some sort of white hat, I thought he was in the know of some things that I weren't. So, and on the tragic stories he told me, he also lifted the veil that he might be suicidal. And when he told me that, I was like, it didn't seem authentic, but I was like, hey, I will support you. And, hang in there. You're doing great. That was just what I said to have a conversation. But in my gut, it did not feel authentic. And now when I look back at it, it seems like he wanted to plan something. And it could very much look like the assassination attempt on Hulk's character. That's where it's come to use. And they wanted me to pick his side, Alex's, instead of Hulk. That's how I see it now, because that is manipulation. Manipulation is emotions. And every story he had, like one of mine, and, but I have a strong gut and I won't succumb into my emotions. Yeah. So that is why I see that it was so conveniently after this whole thing that suddenly it was about Hulk. Another thing is, his episode, he had an episode also in Florida, allegedly, because in my gut, I knew it weren't so. But at least, the 1% of doubt I had in my mind, in my heart, that, hey, so I should at least try to help him and arrive. So I went into an Uber. First, I went to the local hospital that was nearest to see if he was in there. Where would someone be taken if they had an episode? And he wasn't there. He had given me his Snapchat at the beach. So I texted him in on that. And he replied to me what location he was at. So I went into an Uber. And I drove for like 40 minutes. And I arrived at this destination after I have been to several others. And I went into this hospital. And I asked the clerk there about his name. Where is he? And he said, that man left 40 minutes ago. And that was the same 40 minutes ago that he said to me that he would go rest up. And I was like, okay, but maybe he's genuine anyway. Maybe it was like a test to see that I will come to a friend's avail when they needed me the most and spend money that I didn't have. Something like that. Was it a test? Anyway, it wasn't going to bother me. I still liked him. But now I see maybe it was like a test not to see if I was a friend. Maybe it was a test to see if his manipulation had worked. And because I always greeted him with a big smile, he felt confident that I would come to his avail when the target was Hulk. But I had a gut and I went with it because I can sense authenticity. And Hulk is full of authenticity. We had a long talk at the beach. And of course, it wasn't as deep as where I broke down in tears. But that's also not something you should expect when you talk with a friend. Sometimes it's just hanging out and talking. And now that's my case on Alex and how I saw, I was in seven minds when it happened. But I took a step back, went with my gut, and got ready for battle because that was how it felt. Because we as social creatures, we are frightened to be alienated. So that is a tool that is very powerful when you want to drive a narrative. That is also why I see that that's a function of these people we have planted as perceived leaders. And we can ask ourselves, how did they get planted there? Well, let's take Salvatore. He's the biggest one. Salvatore has risen to stars in battling fake enemies. Platinum Sparkles, of course, he sided with the enemies. But these hedge funds are very intelligent. They knew before she was even put in place that it wasn't her voice to be heard. She wasn't the character that was supposed to be risen and raise a narrative. No. She was made there for battle against Salvatore so he could rise and elevate his character and his voice in this spear on spaces. And that is how a lot of these shills came, It was entertaining at first. They came up. Then Salvatore took one out. Squeezes, whatever. They all had these battle with these shills. And in the beginning, I thought, hey, they're looking out for us. Hey, good going. Hey, what a fucking awesome guy. So good with words. But it was pre-planned. And they had a script ready for a little improvisation whenever it took them there. But they were never our allies. And they have been deceiving us forever. And I have had these thoughts before, but I kind of put them away to, hey, maybe I'm wrong, but the gut always knows. And to make this decision to go against it, that's because my conviction is strong. And that assassination attempt against Hulk showed the true colors, where there is no longer doubt. They are here. And they are ready to push the button of whatever they have planted. You can also ask a question about how PP raised to stars. In the beginning, I thought, awesome, a platform where people will speak truth and are not dare to speak up against what is wrong with our societies and our markets. But it was only to lead us down long enough for them to, when it matters, not do anything. Because we as social creatures, we follow perceived leaders. And if these perceived leaders don't take action, then more people won't follow. So that is also why I had this talk here, because there is no place for sheep in this sphere. I'm not here to guide sheep, but I'm here to awaken lions. And that is what I see you are, Hulk. You're not scared of going against the grain. And that is something we need. We need people to speak from their guts and not be persuaded because they like these characters we have followed for so long. And to hammer home my point here about propaganda, because that is what it is, we have very little information about Western propaganda because we get our media from the West. So when you look at propaganda, you have to look to Russia, because that is where your Western media will tell how Russian propaganda works. So I have one story about Russian propaganda during the draft. You know, a lot of Russians were very upset about being drafted to a war they didn't care about. But instead of having the press writing about how awful it is to have a war and being drafted, the topic was not about the draft being wrong. It was about logistics issues with the draft. So the media was very upset about the logistics issues, but there was no attack from their media against the draft in a whole. And that is why it's important to have these big characters here, because they will lead you down a certain extent. They will be angry about something, but they will never go to the heart of the problem. Another thing about the trademark. When Kaius first mentioned that he would use this trademark and wouldn't give it to PP, I went up there as a speaker and I was like, Kaius, what the fuck are you doing? You are assassinating your own character. But I took a step back and listened to it, how it played out, and tried to just take it in. And then it came to my revelation that it was never about the trademark. It was about getting our attention. So what did Kaius tell? He said that he wanted PP to sign that he would not use his platform to hurt Bill Pulte or Ryan Cohen, or to that extent. He was pointing us in a direction that PP is a plant, and when it's time to matter the most, you know, he will clutch it, and he will act against Bill Pulte. He will act against Ryan Cohen, and the ones that are hurted enough to follow him as blind sheep will follow. But we are not sheep. We are fucking lions. Yeah. Yeah. So I think actually that's really what I had about it. And another thing is, just to hammer it home maybe, is when the assassination of Hulk started, you know, there was a lot of, I've been writing a bit, and suddenly this shill appear out of the blue when they have a conversation about important topics. And instead of booting this shill off right away, no, Salvatore gets ready, and now he goes on the script about blah, 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 whatever, empty words about this empty-headed shill that comes out. It was very obvious it was manufactured. Yeah, and it happens over and over again. The shills that are obvious as shill are not there to be a voice and to change our minds. No, they are there only to elevate our perceived leaders. Yeah. So I guess that's just what I wanted to share. My stories about how I went to Florida, how I perceive things, and how I see it played out after I'm returned here, and how the spaces are going. And yeah, look for behavior is my biggest thing. You know, look for behavior. Don't trust your heart. Listen to your gut. You know, and if you are confused in two minds about all this, maybe take a step back and then think about everything. You know, and it's okay to be doubtful. Just take a step back. Support Bill Pulte. You can trust Bill Pulte. Support him. Rally behind him. And then look for action. Why are our perceived leaders not going to Atlanta? You know, I'm broke as fuck and I go there. You know, I would do whatever it takes to come to this event. These big voices, Now, when it's time to fucking shine, they are a no-show. We may have perceived them at some point as some sort of leader, but they are not. They are our fucking enemies. And it's time to wake the fuck up. And what I encourage all you people that have integrity, I want you to be raising your voice, because we need you more than ever. We need to make something happen here so we can rally and get the right people behind Bill Pulte. And only you know. And because that we are in this, we cannot trust anyone. So therefore, it's important that you that have integrity, you raise your hand and you speak if you dare, or just come to the event, or just show whatever support you can. You know best what your talents are. I cannot do due diligence, but I can speak to some extent. So whatever you have, use it and try to drive change, because this is not just our battle, it's our generations to come. What society would we want to be raised in? Would we want to be raised as cattle that don't have freedom, or only have perception of freedom? They are attacking food supplies in Europe, and I see it also in America. And when they go for the food supply, that is how they control people, because hungry people, they are more compliant. Yeah. Rand over. Hold, please. Whatever you have, please.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. I'm getting some requests. Do you care if we bring up a few more speakers to kind of add to it?
Yeah, we can. I've just said what I wanted to share, and then we can go for like 20, 30 minutes, and then I will end the recording, so it's not too hard to come through.
I think you 1,000% nailed it, and your courage speaks volumes to the ones that are listening, the real ones that are down there. It takes real courage to stand up to these pieces of shit that are fucking with us. They're trying to run a psyop on every one of us.
Thank you, Hulk.
And we see right through their bullshit.
I admire you.
Hulk,
You
you're
roar
right.
like a lion.
I just want to mention one thing about that punk ass bitch, Phantom Black. He wants to sneak into the hen house and act like a fucking chicken. And it's the first.
He don't want this
Hey,
life.
wait, this is the first time I'm ever expressing this. I called Squeezy out months ago. It was obvious to me he's running an agenda. And then by way of guilt by association, or whatever you want to call it, coming in and picking up his boys' slack, Phantom always seems to show up. Sal always shows up to defend Squeezy, and vice versa, like they suck each other's cocks at night. And I'm upset. Now I'm gonna get this off my fucking chest. Is these dirty motherfuckers is coming in here acting like us? That's like a cop being a fucking running a gang, or like a gang guy being a snitch, playing both sides of the fucking fence. You're worse than either side of the fucking fence, you fucking rats. And I tell you what, I know Sal. He's well respected in this community. Everyone looks up because of his verbiage and the way he comes across. He's a fucking actor. He's been given a fucking script, or he actually fucking knows finance, and he's got some skin in the fucking game, and he's fucking trying to play us. And
do you really want to know? Because I have all the dirt on
yeah,
Sal. I know
pour
exactly
it out.
where
Let's
he
spill
is.
the tea, Bubba.
I know who he works for. I know every fucking thing about him.
Hell yeah.
And if he wants to come at me, I will burn that motherfucker alive.
Let's go, Hulk. Let's go. And you know what? I think Bill Pulte fucking knows it. I think I think Bill's selling rope. I think Bill's giving the guys just enough fucking rope to hang themselves. Bill fucking knows if that motherfucker was anybody, he would have showed up in Florida. And if that motherfucker was anybody, he would show up in Atlanta. But he don't. He's a fucking actor.
Hey, and Bob, to add on that, man, did you notice, the confidence in Sal's voice? It wasn't the same confidence that last call they had,
No,
he was feeling quite small in that call.
Just like I know Bill knows, Sal knows Bill knows.
Yep. You said it, Bob. Beautiful raw. I love it.
It's all raw.
We know. They know we know.
Yeah,
And
Sal's definitely a fucking leader. And whenever you're a mastermind of a fucking crime, you do more time.
yeah.
That's it, man. And it's also, before I wanted to speak my mind about it, because these are hardcore allegations I'm coming with here. I had to know it completely in my gut. And the tip that took it all over was the assassination of Hulk. That would give me the certainty I needed to be able to battle these people.
Be leery of anybody that speaks negative on my name. Be very aware of what they're trying to accomplish. We see every one of them. I see who likes their comments, their snide remarks, their jokes about Satanists. I see you all. You cannot
Yeah.
hide.
And it's quite obvious when you look at it, Hulk, that this is manufactured. The horde arrives in the moment of need when your character was supposedly to be assassinated.
And if you know Bill Pulte's a man of God, why are you bastardizing and perverting his Jesus Christ's son's name? That right there was enough for me at the beginning not to follow the guy. It's just a respect thing. No one's going to pervert any other prophet's name. So when you did that, you instantly lost respect for me, whether I believe in that or not. I respect
Yep.
everyone's beliefs.
Beautiful said, Bob. And another thing to add on that, let's take squeezes here. So Stephen, he comes up, and instead of being respectful and, you should be respectful. These people are fucking heroes. They try to change the world. And instead of doing that, he takes him some stupid ass joke and he asks him about some shit, So yeah, that's just what I wanted to add. These people here are not our fucking leaders, and we need to fucking wake up. Those that are on the fence, wake the fuck up.
I have connections. I have enough information to tie every one of them together. And their time is almost up.
Soon may the Rickman come. Da, da, da.
Oh, it's going to be such a glorious ending to this wild fucking movie.
Yeah, why ain't Sal going to the meetup? That's the only question you need to ask yourself.
He don't want to put his name in the basket.
Yeah, he's
And
got a place in Florida, but he didn't show up. That's really strange.
yeah, it is quite strange. And it takes a different kind of psychopath to be following along for 1 year, acting like he's our friend when he's actually our foe. It takes a different kind of person to be that fucking wicked.
And Rock, I see you in here listening. I really hope you're not tied to these dudes because your sons need a father in their life. You do not want to be associated with what's about to happen.
Yeah, I hope so also that you are just a herded sheep. And I hope a lot of these characters, but I actually think they are in on it. I think they cannot be so stupid for so long and don't ask questions. I think a lot of the fucking horde that supports them, I think they're in on it. And only a few sheep is among them. I think a lot of these people here are just collecting a smaller paycheck than whatever the prime stone Salvatore is collecting.
I just know the truth always comes to light. And when I saw you, Rolf, just trying to speak for reason, and I like a lot of those people in that group, but now I'm questioning everyone because it's like, why all of a sudden are we drawing these lines, And even if Hulk has something that's really means something to him, people should have a conversation about it and work it out and not just condemn, And that's where I see red flags. And
Where I
everything
see
from
a
his
red flag is you sending me a Joe Burrow card that you tried to make me feel like we was relatable, and that card was off of eBay. So I'll trust you when you can prove to me you actually own that trading card.
Are you serious, Bob? I'll pull it up right now.
Well, hey,
Hey,
it's
Bob,
time to
Bob,
be
Bob, Bob,
serious.
Bob, Bob. Ask Hulkster about me. You don't have to trip.
That's cool. I'm not tripping.
We can have a discussion
Bob.
later.
I can hear you. You don't. I'm going to get the card right now, buddy.
Much respected. Now, hey, I'll stand corrected.
I don't even need to, because I respect you, Bob. I want you on my team because you are one who speaks out, and that's who I am too. And that's
Well,
why when
I
I saw
respect.
Rolf getting attacked like that, I was like, what the fuck is going on? And it's all happening in the same couple days. It's this whole wave.
And if you
And
listen to people talk, not about you, 49er, but
no, I hear you.
if you listen to some of these people talk, they slip up every once in a while and they say, you guys. They don't say
Yep.
us.
Get in the car right now. Oh, it's my other box. I went upstairs to get the box that was right next to me. Hold on. Yeah, I got it. Man. So that's the
Yeah,
thing. Because look at
it's
we and me and Hulkster doing the PFPs. We thought we were really doing something. And then you saw people not really happy about it. And we were like, well, what's that about? Because we've been seeing many red flags, you know? And I just take note. I take note. Here it is. Hold on.
that's awesome, man. We should all take notes, we should also trust some, trust but verify always, trust but verify. If
All
someone
right,
you
and
trust,
Bob, I'll show you my face too, but only you.
No, you ain't that. But the card, I don't trust nobody in this play. The trading card would speak volumes just for me and yours relationship.
No, yeah, for sure.
Another thing I want to draw to people's attention is that they are trying really hard to dox, and be very careful of any new websites with a new DD coming out on them or anything like that. Any GoFundMe's, any of that stuff.
Yeah,
That's how
we've been saying this, and they're just repeating what we're saying.
that's exactly, and
Sorry to
that's
cut
how they
you off.
get your information. So just be very careful out there. There's more bad actors in this than I first expected, but one by one, we will expose each and every one of them, and they will be listed in the RICO investigation, and they will go away for a long, long, long time.
Hold on, Bob. I want to put your profile behind it so it's funny. I love you, Bob, bro. And I that's the thing. You got a lion heart, and that we need that. I think there's a lot of people who act like that. Nah. I just want to pull up so you have like a time and shit. I want to. But anyways, I mean, I don't know. It all seemed to happen on the 15th, somewhat too. That build-up, Hulk.
Yeah, it's what is it, Kali Yuga?
Yep, the light comes out. That's what they were saying.
That's when it's easier to see things for what they really are. Like these people that
Exactly.
try to deceive us. The veil has been lifted, and we are now seeing them for exactly what they are. And
yeah. And to the one listening, you have probably, like me, felt this before in your gut. You had these thoughts that these were not the people you should follow or you should listen to. But sometimes you just kind of forget about it, and right now it reemerges.
When them and their buddies is running spaces nonstop, I get it. You get on to see, hey, what's going on? Is there any news? I'm guilty of that too.
Rolf, also that post you made about trust your gut, that was a beautiful response there.
Hey, I'm sorry, Bob. You gotta follow me so I can send it to you.
Thanks,
I didn't know
49er.
you
I appreciate
unfollowed
it.
me, man.
Also, watch who comes to your side when everybody's running the opposite direction. It'll tell you a lot.
Will, man.
I noticed a space call this morning. It had probably like 90 people in there. I probably had 80 of them blocked. They're all tied together, and I want to think that some of these people are just sheep, and they fell for the lies they're being fed. But the more and more I look into this, it seems that there's a huge network of these people.
Yep.
They're all coordinating.
The
If you go into a space and they're all bashing one person and making jokes about Satanists and stuff like that's very eye opening to me, because Satan has to reveal themselves, and a lot of times they'll make jokes, making it sound like they're joking, but that is the part of the truth that they're saying, and that's how
Yep.
they reveal themselves. So
They
pay
have
attention to
they have
anybody that makes a Satanist joke. There's a lot of truth in that joke, and I want
they
you to
have
see. I want you to open your eyes and do not be a sheep and see them for what they are.
And they have infinite money. They can hire a lot of people to be in these calls, and they have done that.
Hey, Bob. Once
what's up?
Once we get our money, I'll give you that fucking card because that'll be pennies on the dollar of what we're gonna get.
Oh man, we'll laugh about that shit the rest of our lives.
That's what I'm saying. That's a 1 of 35, baby. That's you.
Hey guys, I want to hear what Rock has to say because I respect Rock, and I really want him to be a good guy. I really do.
Well, hey, man, I am a good guy. I've been as consistent as they come. I'm not here to be a sheep or add fuel to the fire. I just wanted to come up and say I love you all. Excited for Atlanta in May, and I can't wait to see you all there. It's really all I wanted to say. I'll let you guys continue on. I really don't have an opinion here. I'm going to stay out of this.
Awesome, Rock. Nice to hear it. Yeah. And, you shouldn't have an opinion before you got it settled, When you come to the conclusion, please speak it. But right now, let your gut guide you. Think about it. And when it's time to roar, and roar in whatever direction you are guided. But listen to your fucking gut, and don't be deceived. Question everyone.
I want to say one more thing, Rolf. Phantom Black, he blocked me, and the only reason he blocked me was because I had put the side eyes emoji on several of Squeezy's comments or posts. Basically, like, I'm calling Squeezy out, or I'm kind of a little skeptical of whatever Squeezy's saying. And then all of a sudden I get blocked. And then now I read Squeezy was responding to Hulk, and he said, "Hulk, you're a coward. Why'd you block me?" Well, I got blocked for a lot less, and it was something indirect by your best friend. So by your own logic, your friend's a coward.
Yeah, I'm also blocked. I'm blocked by the kangaroo, and I'm blocked from Salvatore, and I'm not allowed to follow Squeezest because he will block me. I see now because I see that my point of view is, I can talk against Sal, and I can write comments against the kangaroo, but they don't want that. And now they have you isolated, so you can, fend for your own. And I think that speaks volumes, because now I cannot see whatever they write to you, so I cannot come with a rebuttal other than what's going on. I will let this go for 10 more minutes, and then I will close it down, and then we can start a space that is not recorded.
Yeah, people are about to wake up. The ones that stay asleep, those are the ones that they're probably in on it. So pay notice whenever somebody goes after a respected member of the community. If there's like 60 people that like that tweet, or if there's 60 people that make little snide comments or post gifs of satanic whatever, they're probably all a part of that. So,
and they did it a bit too obvious, because they came out in unison. They came out like fucking a snap with the fingers. It seems so manufactured.
I'm one person. Does it really take a whole fucking army to come after me? Well, yeah, it probably does, because they're all weak cowards. But yeah, they probably should use their army to come after me, because I will fucking destroy each and every one of them.
And they called you a coward. How fucking stupid is that? Because a coward don't go against the grain. A coward moves in packs and in volume, and hides behind lots of the same opinions, so they can be safe in a pack.
They are the definition of a coward, and not a single one of them would say anything they've said to my face. And I will promise you that not a single one of them will show up at Atlanta. They will not, because they are cowards, and they know that we know what the fuck they are. And I'm not going to sit here and let people be deceived. I will speak the truth as I see it, and I will stand behind my beliefs. Because if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. And I'm not about that.
Well, I appreciate you taking all that fire, Hulk, because it opened my my eyes so I could speak against it, you know. Otherwise, I would probably just have been silent and just had these thoughts on my own. But now I fucking see so clearly that I don't mind bashing and burning bridges because I don't care about the bridges that I burn because they lead to fucking nowhere.
Well, this is how the sausage gets made, right? I mean, we didn't sign up for this to make long-term friends, but we're starting to actually make some and learn about how, just like family, sometimes you can't trust your own family. It's sad, but it's true. And I have family members like that.
Yeah, and I want to see to everyone here, you know, support Bill Pulte, you know, do whatever you can to rally behind this movement because this can change the fucking world, and it might be our last fucking chance before we go into this whatever narrative ESG and BlackRock, whatever these big bankers have planned for our demise of freedom, you know, this is the
I'll,
time to speak out against it. Otherwise, we are fucking doomed.
I'll also say they don't want to push me. I wish they would. We have state controllers, state attorneys as friends, close friends, mayors, supervisors, lawyers, everyone. Buried all the Browns. I know them all, but I'm not going to make the call unless someone wants to press me. And if you press me, it's not just the book. You're going to have the whole library come down on you.
They don't know what information I've gathered, but when the timing's right, I will drop it on them, and they will be under the jail cell. I promise you that.
I pray to God that there is a trail and justice will be served for these bad actors because they have done this for a fucking year, being smile fuckers. And you
They
know,
got daggers in their smiles.
yep, that's what they do. And you can also, you know, look at their demeanor, look at their behavior, because that will show you the volume of what they're made of.
You know what else is I've caught on to is they'll hop in other spaces that ain't got nothing to do with us, and it'll be their little clique, and they go in there just to ruin that space for those good people. Like
Yep.
I heard these women the other day had a space for women, and then the same usual actors, at least there was 3 of them, maybe 4, but they was in there just trolling. And I thought, man, how sad is this?
Yeah. And you can see these guys, they are not in a revolution. They are in a fucking psyop. And they are our enemies. Dirty Dong, go ahead.
So just to clarify, you guys are not Satan worshippers?
What?
Yeah, that's
Dude,
one.
it was a joke, man. It was a joke. I've been in this play for 3+ years, and I really respect Sal and Squeezest and Alpha, and I think they've done nothing but bring help and unity and allow us to be able to see what's
Well,
really
let me
going
ask you
on.
this. Do you know these people personally? Because I do. I know who they are in real life.
I've never met them, but I mean, it
Maybe
goes
you
just like
do
what you.
find out who they are before you go to battle with these guys that are anonymous. Because I know who they are. I know their identities. I know where they live. I know what they're up to. So just be very careful who you associate with. Because in a RICO investigation, guilt by association is a real thing.
They need payment. They need payment. So if you are herded as a sheep, you would not get charged, but it would speak volumes of your character that you God couldn't tell the difference. You know, they need
Yeah,
a
but at the
you
same
know
time,
No. If you have any knowledge of anything illegal, that's part of a conspiracy right there.
what's
You
one
are.
thing they've done that's been illegal this whole time? I mean, they've done nothing but help to
I'm
shed
not
the
letting.
light on all this
Hey,
stuff.
right now, for me, I'm not speaking about anyone who do anything illegal. But if things are being done illegally, and that the powers that be know this, then yeah, if you are tied to them, yeah, you'll be in trouble.
So, are you trying to
That's
say
not.
they're actually getting paid? Because you do know that they're just completely trolling about that.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying when you have a nefarious actors tied together, if there's back channels, the powers that be will know that. It's not. That's not our job. We're just, I think, explaining that's just how it's going to happen. It doesn't matter if they sound good now. We don't know what back channeling's happening, and half these people could be fine. I don't fucking know. I'm just saying the powers that be do.
Yeah, and I look at it as by their fruits you shall know them, and everything that I've seen. I mean, I followed. Hell, I was in this play back in January of 21, and I followed both of it. I followed Ryan Cohen over to Bed Bath & Beyond, and for me personally, when Sal went
That's
dark
the
that one
script
time,
of
I
Dirty
was like,
Dom
oh
too.
hell.
Dirty Dom. You know that's the exact same script verbatim that they are using too. You
Yeah,
understand this? That we see the
and
words
guess what?
you
There's
just said
so many other people though that
is exactly
Mhm,
verbatim what the
exactly.
other side is
So
using.
you're thinking
So
that
that
I'm a
is
shill
very
because I
weird.
said the exact same thing.
Yeah, very weird.
Yeah. No, actually, there's one of my best friends growing up that he actually posted something about GameStop, and I reached out to him. And we're like, "Are you freaking kidding me? You're in the same GameStop play as I am." And I mean, to my friends and family, they all think I'm crazy, retarded. But no, I mean, I, I mean, I could tell you exactly this whole play from the very beginning. I mean, I've followed this.
I would just say Google the skip trace process and find out what that does. That's how they tie social media and all this stuff to illegal actions. Skip trace process. So that's going to
Boys,
be probably involved.
the 10 minutes is almost up, and I want to close the recording, and then we'll start a new space where we can talk without having the recording. I want to this be as short as possible so people can see where our position is on this and make up their own mind and follow their gut. So the last rant I want to do before I close this is right now, lots of things are going on. Take a step back, listen to your fucking gut, and whatever conclusion you arrive at, follow it. Speak your mind about it, and hopefully you are right. And that's all I have to say. All right, I will shut it down and open a new call.
Well, here one thing real fast before you go. I think hope is something really powerful, and I think Sal and I think Squeezest and all these other guys have given us that hope. I mean, there's a study that was done in 2020 to where they had mice
Hope
that
from God.
were just hold on, let me finish, please. There's a study done to where they would put mice in these buckets of water, and the
Yeah, the
rats
Hope
or mice.
study. We know the Hope study. We know.
All right, well,
Yeah, I know it
okay.
as
Well,
well. So
why
you
don't you
could,
let me finish it instead of interrupting me, please?
Because it's not your space and Rolf will set it down. That's all.
yeah, and
All
you
right,
can
well.
open your own space and share your fucking thoughts. But
Oh, see, and that's where you start
No.
seeing.
He literally was shutting down the space, and we all said we could join there. But for some reason, you didn't hear the clear thing that he stated. I'm shutting down the space. So if you would like to be respectful, you can go rejoin us there. That'd be great.
awesome, thanks, well put, man. And I'm gonna close it down now, and we're gonna go in the other one.
Thank you, Rolf.